Hi everyone, I just wanted to create a quick video based on my mind map that I did for a fireside chat with Jason Connell and George Borovec at Invest Ottawa. It was very interesting and had a lot of ideas on how to start, how to get through the tough times, and it was also kind of focused on Silicon Valley, the mecca of startups and startup culture. So it was directed by Jason's questions, and this isn't the complete idea of what happened there, but some specific points that came to my mind, and then or that were given, and then I wrote down in point form in the form of this mind map. So one thing George said was just start. The difference between entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs is just they start. They don't just talk about it. They do it. And how do you do it? Well, you can validate. He gave one strategy of asking 5 people, would you be interested in my idea, in my business, my concept? Use your resources, network, and develop social capital with people, and meetups. This is something that I added on my own. There's the idea of the average of the 5 people, and great people, giving people, experienced people. And one thing that George really mentioned, really push forward, was work hard. And he said in his startup experience, it involved a lot of sacrifice and sacrificing sleep and relationships. The idea of if you have some income now, you work with the income, and then when you get home, have something to eat, and then you work another 6-8 hours on your project, on what you're really interested in, on your business, on your passion, vision. And he mentioned 4 qualities of entrepreneurs: hard work, passion, curiosity, and they listen. This was just, really, really cool to have things codified like that, simplified. People who listen, accept feedback, listen to people with experience. People are curious, they're interested in what they're doing and also what others are doing. They create conversations. And then also the idea of time management came up, and how do you enforce yourself with time management? Well, have some shareholders, and it may not be your own investors or people who directly have a business relationship with you, but other people who are maybe relying on you. And him personally, he uses paper with to-dos, so it's another way of doing things. Kick, I hadn't heard of Kick, but it's a company coming out of Waterloo. They do text messaging. No, not text messaging. Instant messaging, like MSN, I guess. And I guess they're gonna, anyways, Kick, Pebble, and he also mentioned the Plenty of Fish, how they just sold for $500 million, and he didn't have any investors. So it kind of goes into funding. Funding is not your first choice, because if you can do it all on your own without giving other people a piece of it, then that could, it's positive. That's what we're going after if you're intending to exit, of course. George gave a lot of insight on his own experience with funding and the ups and downs, and how he ended up wasting a bunch of time waiting for other people to get back to him. Anyways, so Silicon Valley. This was really inspiring to hear about Silicon Valley. How, personally, I haven't seen a Canadian winter in a long time, but to think of Silicon Valley, a place where, like he was mentioning, lemon trees are in your front. in your backyard. Sounds like a great place. Of course, super expensive. But venture capitalism or venture capitalists are there in abundance. They're easier to find, and you can get to know them right away. Also, I listen to Tim Ferriss podcasts and a lot of his content. He talks about how San Francisco, the Bay Area, is, you can see billionaires just at the local Starbucks. They just happen to be there, and then you can connect or just be in touch. And one thing that really stuck out with me is that George mentioned that early adapters are there. So the people who are into technology, they gravitate to Silicon Valley, and they're going to be in a lot of, according to George, they're going to be the first ones to adopt. They're the early adapters, and they're the ones leading to a certain point where the masses or more people will get in touch. So hopefully I can get up yes. So, and also the network is there, the support system is there, there's events, there's always fireside chats going on all the time. And last but not least, towards the end, there was the idea of metrics. How do you measure the success of your company, and how do you measure the success, and how do other people measure your success? And there's 3 things that I picked up which are really interesting. Revenue, how much money are you taking in? Users, there's a user base, and traffic. So users, there's a recent sale of, what is it? The messaging app. They had about, it'll come back to me. So they had that, and they were sold to Facebook for $2 billion. Sorry, I totally forgot. Traffic. A lot of blog startups would have traffic, and they're selling eyeballs. And the power you get when you can direct a lot of people to certain things with advertising and all that stuff. And revenue is cold hard cash. So if you're making money, people will see that. Or it's just a great metric to determine how successful you are. So those are my thoughts on this fireside chat, and it was a great experience. Really inspired me to at least go to San Francisco. There's a lot of tickets available. You can go from Ottawa to Silicon Valley for less than $500. So So thanks to George, thanks to Jason for putting this together, and thank you to Invest Ottawa for bringing us all together. Thanks, and till next time.